I just remembered what I wanted to show you. I want to show you how to, like if you have a duck in the water or any bird or whatever, you want to line up the reflection. It's real hard to, you're supposed, anytime you have a reflection, it should be directly under. Now, sometimes when you got ripples, it's going to distort things. But as a rule, like this right here, uh, if this was out here going, here instead of here, tilted in other words, if you want to get it just right, go up here to the marquee tool, to the box. Thank you. Go up here and start at this eye and go straight down, and you can see, I'm going to have to do that again since I let go, but you can see going by this, you could be, you could tilt it a little bit. This doesn't matter really at all. And this one doesn't matter. This is way off from this one. And, but anyway, there's times when you're going to need to line things up. And another thing too, up here in view rulers, you got rulers. I don't know how you would set yours up. Man, that's not supposed to show all the rulers. Anyway, it does over here. You can grab your move tool up here, and if you want to see if it was level, grab it on the ruler right here, grab it and drag it down, and you got what's called a guideline. You can put as many of those if you want to. Like if you want it under that eye, if you want to do it this way, line it up with this eye, and then you got that. So you can move your entire image to make everything, like if you're doing a building, like if you're doing the church and stuff, all that stuff you're doing, if you want to line stuff up, you can do it this way. Okay, and if you want to, watch my cursor. See when it turns into that double deal, you left click it and drag it back up, and that gets rid of it. Just drag it right back up. Don't drag it down. There's where the ruler is, and this one is going to go back over here. And so they're always at your disposal, and they don't print, and when you save it, it doesn't show up and all that stuff. So it's just on your screen only. It's kind of like that when we do the eyedropper. When I put these things, which I need to get rid of those things. That's Shift and Alt. Shift and Alt gets rid of those. So there's some little tools. Let me see up here on the window. This is where all your things are. Your brushes. Let me show you brushes real fast. Now again, brushes is it's not a big deal. This right here, matter of fact, that's not very impressive at all. This is the one I should have did. Brush settings. Let me go to brush, and that'll activate it. Okay, you can go. This is the soft brush, and then you can with the keys, the bracket keys, you make it larger and smaller. This is hard. See how hard it is? Sometimes you're going to need that, and you can make it smaller or larger, same old thing. These brushes here are custom brushes, and when you use a custom brush, well, they do special things. I need to go to my image. See what it is? It's leaves. If I was going to do leaves in a painting, I'd get green, something like that, just and there you go. And here you can turn it. Well, you can do that, but you can turn it like that. So if you want to do the next batch, and see, it's not this. It doesn't look like the same leaves because it's been turned. So you can do all kinds of weird stuff in here, but it better put it back the way you found it, at 0. and put it back on this because you might forget how to do it. Shape dynamics, it's weird stuff. You can do scattering. Now watch this. I'm going to go to this one. Now I got one brush right over here. I'm going to do it in a different color. So up here, the real hot pink. Now watch when I do scattering. I mean, that's just a regular deal. Now watch, I do the spacing. Now watch when I do scattering. See what it does. I mean, I'm just going in a straight line and it's making dots. Now you can change the size, the angle, and all this kind of stuff. Also, you can add other stuff to it. You can make them to where they scatter. I mean, literally. I mean, like if you were doing grass blades, which I do, I've done quite a bit. I don't have one set up in this, but anyway, you can, if you ever want to play around, you can play here and change stuff up, but always remember where it went, because you never want this one on, you never want that on, you always want this on. Smoothing makes it smooth. So it's back to normal again. Anyway, you can do all kinds of stuff. You can make your own. I'm going to use the brackets and make it this large. I don't even know what that is. Just a texture, I guess. So there's just so much you can do with brushes. You can make your own custom brushes. You can select your own custom brushes. Let's see what that one does. The scattering. I mean, like here, it's just going to make a streak. Oh no, that's pretty cool. I've never seen that one. Now you put scattering on there though, and well, it's supposed to scatter them in random places. It would never be the same twice, and it's really not if you look at it. But anyway, you can play with it if you ever want to. Taking scattering off. And let's see, anyway, really always just have it on these two, not unless you're doing something special, and never ever leave it on, you know, whatever it is. There may be a reset somewhere, I'm not sure. Well, that wasn't fun. Let me see. I guess there isn't a reset. No. Usually reset is Control Alt. So anyway, this is just a real quickie to show you about brushes, and just real quick, just in case you can load brushes. There are brushes online on Adobe, and you can go get them anywhere online. People make them. Got all kind. If you want a rose brush that's in the shape of a rose or a skull or a boat or a car or clouds, you can make realistic clouds. I've made many realistic clouds using a real picture of a cloud, and somebody makes a brush. It's real super easy. I'm not going to go into it. You don't need to know that yet, but anyway, you can do special effects with your brushes and all this kind of stuff. And this what this is about. Not this. This is just your, well, it's special effects too, but this is even more stuff. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to do some type or something. I'm going to do type in red. I want to show you this because you can make Christmas cards this way, real easy. That's too bright of a red. And I'm going to go to the type tool right there, and I'm going to type Lorem Ipsum. Why not do Latin? I'll do Mary. I'll do it the other way with spelling it right. Okay, I'm using the move tool to move it. No, I'm not either. Wouldn't do it. Oh, that moves the, yeah, be careful of that. You can definitely screw up your layers. there's the type tool right there. I got it at the top. Always have it at the top. Grab it by the type. Do not grab it here, because you will move your image. And now this image, you see that? It's over from that. Now watch this area when I go undo. See, I move my image, and you can do that real easy. So anyway, my brush settings I don't need. Double click this to activate it. Now I can change it to white, see? And you can double click this right here, and you can hold the shift key and double click that, or you can just go over here and just double click and it does both of them. But you can change this. Now it'll be red type. Now just for the fun of it, I'm going to make a layer, and I'm going to make it green. This is just fun stuff. This is not going to confuse you, I hope. And someday you might think, well, you know what? He said something about something. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key and delete, and it changes it to green. If I held down the Control and delete, it would have made it red. It depends on which one of these swatches and Alt, like your swatch, you can get them mixed up. So if it didn't one, use the other. That's all I can say. That's the best way to say it. So anyway, I know this is kind of what the? Nobody told me about that. How come you didn't tell me? Now what I'm doing, I activated this, I deactivated it, and then now I want to put see the cursor? I want to put it at the end of that and get rid of that V or whatever that was. Alright, I'm going to get the move tool, this Christmas back over here. Now, I got the Christmas type up. I'm going to double click, not Christmas, because that'll change, you've done this. You want to double click over here. That brings up the layer styles, which is, alright, let's say I'm going to put a drop shadow around there. That's pretty cool, huh? This is the light direction. It's coming from over here and it's going to there. I always, in my mind, my light comes from my left top. I'm just saying, you do whatever you want to. Here's your opacity. That's way too much. I have it about like that. Always multiply. Black is see-through and multiply. Not 100%, but whites are see-through or better in overlay. They're see-through, and there's normal, and anyway, that's something. What you need to do is go through here, and I do this on a lot of things to get special effects. I used to, when I did speedometer faces, I use this constantly. I made so many ads and logos and speedometer faces and stuff, and I used all this. Anyway, multiply, and you can make the distance. You can, like it's way away from, like it's floating, whatever. And the spread, you don't want very much spread. Sometimes you might, but this is the important one right here. See, if you wanted to have it to just be kind of subtle, you want it right there, and but all right, let's say well, that's kind of neat, but it'd be neat if we had a line around the type. So you go to stroke over here and make sure you can click on this, but it's not highlighted. You got to highlight it if you want to work on it. See, changes everything. So we're on stroke. Here's the size. Oh, let me get rid of that texture. Here's the size of the stroke. You can control it, or you can do it over here. I'm scrolling through it. That's what I use. And this is the outline is on the outside. Now put it on the inside and see it does a completely different thing. Put it on the center and different again. I like outside. That's what I do. And again, that stroke is it's not really black. It's this color. So we'll change it, and you'll see that now it's actually green, but it looks black. I'm going to make it larger. See, it's actually green because it's in multiply. All right, now I'm going to take it out of multiply, put it on normal. You'll see it's green. And whatever color I choose that, right there, you know, whatever. But this is supposed to be Christmas, so you know, it should be something kind of festive. Actually, that's not too bad for Christmas. I mean, it's a little dark. I mean, a little light. You know, for like a Christmas card. Let's just say that. Okay, but anyway, you can go in here and mess with this stuff. You just got to remember where to click to get here, and then play around. And again, try to put the stuff back the way it was, because the next time you bring up drop shadow, it may come up. I mean, like, you can click on drop shadow. You can make more drop shadows. There's another one. You can come down here to it, and you can move it farther away. So, and you can come back on the opacity. And this is how you get a really, really, really realistic shadow. And I'm going back to the first one. And that's, see where that is. Original. I'm going to make it darker. Because shadows are dark up here, and then they, as they go, you probably know, but anyway. I'm going to make a third one. Click on that one. I'm going to cut the opacity on that. And I'm going to do the distance. It's a little much. Anyway, you can play around with that. It's really getting into a little finessing in there. Pretty neat. You can spend your whole life and never learn Photoshop, all of it. There's so much here. There's been so many people that works on this and contributed. They bought out people that made this, you know, and then they bought them out and claimed it as their own. Adobe did. You know, they don't come up with all this stuff. They buy people out. They're like Microsoft, and they're evil, just like Microsoft and all that. I mean, you know, they're all big money conglomerates and all that kind of junk. Anyway, inner glow, same thing. Let's go with hot pink, just for the fun of it. And it'll make the edges, and it's in screen too, which, you see that? It makes it not so harsh. Anyway, you can just go crazy. And you can change this edge right here. See? Click on either one of those. And these are really, I need to send you some type I did. I spent a lot of time learning how to do this professionally. I mean, I did some really good stuff that I could sell as a kit, but I never did, of course. But I made, like, I used some type that looked like a tooth, and I made some that looked like a tongue. So if you spelt out Happy Halloween and you wanted vampire teeth, you could use this little setup I had as that. And it was they sell these things, and I just made my own, and I made a whole bunch of them. I made some look like a piano key, the white and the black, like so whatever shape you made, like a marquee, like using the marquee tool, well, up here, and you made a shape of a piano key, and you painted it black. Well, the highlights and shadows and stuff in there would look just like a piano key. And then I did rust. It would just look like real rust. And all I'm doing is just messing with this stuff. All this in here, gradients and glows, and I don't know, just all kinds of stuff. But you can really go crazy with this stuff. Anyway, I think that's enough. I'm gonna cancel this. Merry Christmas to everybody, and to all a good night. Thank you.